Let's just move on and take another one over here.
Hi, my name is Benjamin, and this question is for Mr. Shermer. You've spoken a lot about the concept of evil, and you've spoken about the concept of morality and acting morally. If there is nothing more than your brain, which evolved through evolution with no intelligent design behind it, and there is no creator, an ultimate giver of laws, then where is your source of evil or morality? And really fast, assuming one of your responses would be that it evolved through our experiences, we experience evil to ourselves, so we know what evil is. How do we know that murder is evil? We don't experience evil to ourselves, and we will say that the murder of even the most evil person is still evil because it is murder of this person. That's not something we gain through experience. We know it is evil because it is evil. Where is the source of evil?
Yeah, okay, good. This is a great question. First of all, imputing God as the answer isn't an answer because does the argument that murder is wrong exist separate from God? I mean, is it always wrong to murder, whether there's a God or not? And if that's the case, why shouldn't we just follow the moral precept whether we believe in God or not? If it is hitched to God, that is, God gave us those arguments, then how do you handle the things like that are in Deuteronomy and Leviticus that we've moved beyond, the stoning to death, the death penalty for disobedient teenagers? Okay, how many people believe in that? Well, wait, maybe I better not do that because there might be some parents of teenagers here who would like it to be true, but we would agree that we don't follow that. So how do you pick and choose? You cherry pick the ones based on the cultural preferences we have today that we've evolved. And finally, my ultimate answer is that as a social primate species, we have to have a balance between our competitive urges and our cooperative urges. We need to be pro-social, altruistic, cooperative. There has to be means of social conflict resolution. For example, emotions evolved to motivate organisms to do things. So anger is an emotion that expresses a displeasure at a violation of a social contract. You told me that you wouldn't do that, and you did, and I am really mad, and I'm not going to put up with it anymore. That's an expression that sends a signals information to other people in the group. Don't do that again. Jealousy is an emotion that evolved to get us to be, mate guarding, because people are not consistently monogamous. We all know this. We're serially monogamous with too many violations, so we have moral codes that evolved, one of which is an emotion of jealousy to enforce that. Don't do this, and if you do, there will be consequences. You don't need a top-down designer. We have an explanation for that now.
Michael, there's something to what you say, but I think your argument, sort of a bit like Ted Kennedy's underpants, is a little stretched. And let me say why. You've picked the easy emotions.
Well, that was an easy joke.
Jealousy, indignation, fidelity. Well, evolutionary psychology has been hard at work trying to account for something very simple: charity, altruism. And evolution has come up with a partial explanation. Altruism is a form of disguised selfishness. If a mother jumps into a burning car to save her 2 kids, that's actually not such a noble deed. She happens to share their genes, and she wants to make sure in Machiavellian fashion that those genes make their way into the next generation. Even what you could call tit for tat, the businessman treats the customer well, not because he's a really good guy, he wants the customer to come back. So morality here is seen as an extended form of Darwinian selfishness, but that explains to me about 5% of morality. It doesn't explain the huge ocean of human behavior that you would quite simply call altruism with no immediate payoff. I get up in a bus to give a 75-year-old woman my seat. Is that because I have cunningly calculated that next week I want her seat? No. I'm doing it because once in a while I feel like being a nice guy. Or you donate blood. My point is, Mother Teresa, there's a whole bunch of human behavior. Remember, morality at its core is that which cuts against self-interest. If it was in your self-interest, where's the question of morality? So the whole of morality is a puzzle for Darwinian explanations because Darwin says that we are here for selfish reasons. And the only unselfishness we invent is itself a disguised form of selfishness.
No, not quite. In Why Darwin Matters, I address that answer. That is, we have gone beyond the simple selfish thing. Yes, you're right. You have to have free will. We make a moral choice. If we didn't actually have a choice where we could have done the bad thing, then it wouldn't be morality. Yes, that's true. So why do we do it? Because as a whole group, you can't just do moral calculations immediately. We have a big enough brain to be able to hold in our consciousness, our memories, all those relationships, and that I want to send a signal to other people. Even if I'm not going to get paid off, I will send a signal, even if it's a costly signal. Do a risky behavior to help somebody that I might not get a payoff. It sends a signal to everybody else, look, I'm a moral person, you can count on me, and so I'm really moral, not just calculatingly moral, but really moral.
Well, that's completely circular. You're explaining unselfishness. You're saying the reason we have unselfishness is because we don't just care about ourselves, we care about the group. Well, you've just presumed the thing that you were set out to explain.
No. There's a competition within group morality, that is, we need to be pro-social for our group to survive, and yet we're also xenophobic and tribal against other groups. This nicely explains Old Testament morality, by the way. The sort of do unto others as you do unto yourselves, love thy neighbor, was mostly your in-group morality, so I'll give it to the Christians to improve upon that by the New Testament. But we've come a long way since then, and we can do even better.
You guys are actually done?
Yeah.
Wow.